Can I beat the entirety of Scarlet and Violet using only a single Pokemon? If you guys could not tell, my favorite Pokemon is Gliscor. He's the best physical tank in my opinion, especially with his hidden ability Toxic Heal. On top of that, his light blue shiny is awesome. So before I get into this playthrough, let me establish a few rules. All items in battle are available to me. I'm not allowed to use any other Pokemon except for Gliscor. This is a form of Nuzlocke, so I'll be giving myself 3 chances or knockouts. I'm allowed to level as high as I want to, but I'll be skipping as many trainers as possible. As for the Gliscor build itself, he has his hidden ability Toxic Heal with an Impish Nature to maximize defense, but its ability is no good since Toxic Orb isn't available till post-game sadly. I gave him the Terra Steel to help me counteract his gigantic weakness to ice and take neutral damage from water type attacks. His moves currently are Electric Fang, Terra Blast, Bulldoze, and Aerial Ace. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the first gym in this challenge. Honestly, there's not too much to say about the initial part of the first game here. It's really easy, especially having a fully evolved Gliscor. As you've seen there, we flew through the first gym, no problems whatsoever. Especially having super effective Aerial Ace. There's not too much to say. We don't have any difficulties at the start of the game here. Moving on here, we fight Cloth with Arven. And honestly, with Cloth here, Arven's Shelter was more annoying than anything. It's just spamming Life Dew. But I was using Bulldoze, so I was doing less damage to the Cloth itself, and I was doing damage to Shelter. So as you can see here at the end, we ended up knocking out Cloth and Shelter together, which is kind of funny. Oh, that frame rate though, oh my goodness. So we were following everything in order, so just so you guys know. Yep. So yeah, we're moving on to the second gym. The second gym is Grass type. And again, with having a super effective flying type, we just flew through this gym with literally no issues whatsoever. It's cool at the end how they have like a rock type become a grass type. But even this Sudowoodo isn't very much of a threat, like, let's be honest. We 2-hit KO the Sudowoodo, and that was that. Next up is the second Titan Pokemon, Bombirdier. And if I'm being honest, especially having Electric Fang, Bombirdier is not that difficult to deal with whatsoever. It did get a little sketchy. He was doing like a little bit more damage to Gliscor despite being a physical tank, because I think the Bombirdier is at level 20 here, but I can't quite remember. The Nacli was absolutely useless. Thank you, Arven. All it did was spam Rock Polish, so it went +6 speed to do literally no damage. So thanks for the help, Arven. Really, very much appreciated. So moving on here, next was our first Team Star base, and this is where we had our first difficulty in the Nuzlocke. So unfortunately, you cannot challenge the Team Star base without having 3 Pokemon in your party. So I had to put 2 random Pokemon in the party. And if I'm being honest, I would not have won this run without those 2 Pokemon. You guys will kind of see it here, what I'm talking about. So starting off here as well, it got a little sketch with the Revavroom. Or not the Revavroom, sorry, with the Pawniard, because Pawniard has the Defiant ability. And my only ground type attack this early in the game is Bulldoze. And Bulldoze lowers the stage of its speed, so it makes it go +2 attack. Thank God it's just a Pawniard, so we didn't really have to worry about it. And good thing that Gliscor is such a good defensive tank. It didn't do very much damage despite being +2. So yeah, this fight got extremely sketchy. I'll show you here. We didn't have any super effective moves against it. It was also using special moves and Metal Sound, which is also extremely scary because Gliscor is good defensively, but not special defensively. So yeah, after the Metal Sound here, we go -2, which is very sketch. It got very close here. We almost took a KO right in the beginning. I had to switch out to one of the Pokemon in the back so that I could heal Gliscor and reset the Intimidate that the Starmobile gave us, the Revavroom gave us. After that, I Terra to Steel. I don't know why that I thought that I resisted Dark being Steel type. I think that was back in the day of Gen 2. But that was a misplay by me. But look at the back and forth that we have here. Like, it's actually kind of insane. He Metal Sounds me again, and things get sketch. I do Terra Blast so that I can do as much damage. Because if you guys didn't know, Terra Blast turns into a special or a physical attack depending on if your physical or special attack is higher. So right now, because our physical attack is higher than our special, Terra Blast is a physical type move. And because of the Stab Terra boost, it actually is our strongest move for Gliscor currently, despite Bulldoze and Aerial Ace being our stab moves. So we ended up barely clutching up here, like 7 HP left. If we didn't switch out to one of our Pokemon in the back to heal up, we would have definitely lost that. So moving on, this is the next sketchy fight. This is our first time battling Nemona into this entire treasure hunt. We knock out Nemona's first 2 Pokemon, no issues. We kill we knock out Palmy, we knock out Rockruff. Both those guys are super effective against Bulldoze. But this is where it gets sketch. So she sends out Quaxwell. We have the Thunderfang. Thunderfang does over 50%. We literally won this fight because of RNG. It's kind of insane. So she uses Terra Stab Water Pulse here. And, like, just watch what happens. Like, it's actually nuts. So we get crit and confused at the same time. So I decide to Terra here, but I'm thinking if she did that much damage, I don't know. Now that I realize it was a crit, so we would have actually survived even if you see what happens here. So we played around with the hacks. If we got confused here, we probably lose this, to be honest, or next time. But we ended up pushing through the hacks to clutch up with the first fight. That was the sketchiest fight so far. I should have just Terra'd immediately. That was a very poor decision on my part. But we ended up taking the dub. So moving on here, we have our third gym battle, Iono. And honestly, I thought Iono was going to be extremely easy because she is an electric type gym leader. And we have a ground type and a ground move. So why would it not be that easy, right? So the Belly Bolt uses Water Gun here. I was like, yo, that was actually a little sketch, but thank God it's non-stab, doesn't do very much. The Luxio here is very important. It gives us an Intimidate drop, which is very important against this dang Mismagius. Mismagius goes into, this is a very smart Terra. It goes into an electric type and it has Levitate, so it technically has no weaknesses here. It's really annoying. So I'm just trying to whittle this thing down. We have nothing in the back to switch to. I'm super potioning up. This is such a grindy fight. I'm thinking that I'm going to lose this because my Terra Blast is doing physical normal damage, but we're -1. It keeps hacking me, confusing me. Like, what the heck is going on here? Aerial Ace for stab to do more damage because it's doing more damage than the Terra Blast. But yeah, we're just going back and forth here. We get it down to red. It puts me at 10 health. All I have 1 super potion left. And then other than that, it will just be potions. Like, it's coming down to the wire here. I sped this up just so that you guys can see, because this fight literally took like 10 minutes alone. It was a crazy back and forth fight. And look at this, down to 15 HP again. We're healing up. I'm trying to do the math. He's doing like 16 to 20 damage per hit depending on the roll. Yeah, I'm just trying to survive. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking that I need a crit here because I think it's going to live at 1. So I decide, I think Terra Steel, even though it resists it, I think this is my strongest move again because it's stab when you go to Terra and then the Terra boost. So I'm thinking that this is the best opportunity for me to clutch up here. And look at this, we're at 7 HP, and thank God we hit ourselves, and thank God he uses Confuse Ray. That's the only way that we won this fight, is because of hacks and RNG. Oh my goodness, man. So we ended up taking the third gym. Moving on here, we got our second Team Star fight. This fight is also extremely sketch. You guys will see here. Not the best things happen or go down, unfortunately. So she only has 2 Pokemon Mela here. She has the Revavroom and Torkoal. What's really annoying is that she puts the sun up. So the Revavroom uses Overheat here and crits us. This crit is actually huge. We would be able to survive multiple overheats, especially being -2. We do like a decent amount of damage because of Bulldoze, but not enough, unfortunately. So yeah, you guys are going to see what happens here. Blazing Torque goes in, it burns us. Honestly, we were probably losing this anyway. I was trying not to switch to the Pokemon that we had in the back, because remember, we cannot battle the Team Star base without having 3 Pokemon in our party. So yeah, this is the first knockout of the series. We aren't even 4 badges in. We're not even halfway through the dang game, and we already take a knockout. So that's already knockout number 1. So now, moving on to round 2 here. We try this again. We knock out her Torkoal pretty easily. He overheats us. Doesn't crit this time, just 35 damage. We can take another one. We know we can. Now, there's no Intimidate, but it does have Speed Boost. So these speed drops with Bulldozer is doing absolutely nothing. Absolutely abysmal damage. Yeah, so Blazing Torque ends up taking us out. So we take 2 knockouts from this thing, and I am going to count this. So literally already, guys. So we switched to Lechonk here. I ended up reviving Gliscor in the back. Now Sun is gone, so it screeched me. That's the reason why it killed me, that it did that much damage the first time. But yeah, we ended up taking out Gliscor now after 2 freaking knockouts. And we ended up finally taking the dub on this Starmobile. The Starmobile fire type almost took us the distance. I don't know what's going to happen when we fight the ice type. I thought it was going to be smooth sailing until we got to the ice gym. But no, we are barely surviving out here, guys. So that was part 1 of our Nuzlocke series with using Gliscor only. If you guys like these type of videos, make sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know if you guys would like to see part 2. This is just kind of an experimental thing. Shout out to Golden in our Discord for giving me the idea to do a Gliscor only run. I wanted to have GliscorTV as my OT, so I needed to do a new run of Scarlet and Violet. But yeah, thank you very much, YouTube. We'll see you later.